Parker tries to pick it up. He's got to throw it up at the horn. And it goes! It goes! It goes, baby! A three-pointer! A three-pointer! The Dogs have won it!
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. This is where the Dogs play.
Shakes and bakes, drives. High kiss off the glass. Blocked at the rim. Oh, nasty block.
You got to be at your very best every night.
Driving one-handed. Pulls up for a three at the horn. Oh, yeah! And a two-handed monster dunk down the lane. Alley-oop. Oh, yeah!
Welcome to the Grindhouse Killer Burgers Bulldog Courtside Show. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Now to courtside along with Chuck Dowdle. Here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another night of Georgia Bulldogs basketball tonight from Stegman Coliseum in Athens as Georgia takes on the Owls of Kennesaw State University. Well, the Bulldogs are back home after losing in the consolation game last Wednesday and going 1-2 in the Cayman Islands Classic. Georgia is now 3-3 after playing its first 6 games in 13 days. Kennesaw State limps into Athens on a 6-game losing streak. KSU's record 1-6 overall. The Owls under fourth-year head coach Al Skinner won their season opener against Oglethorpe, but have been unable to scratch out a win since, and that includes losing all 3 of their games in the Paradise Jam in the Virgin Islands this month, then falling on their home court to Belmont by 38 points last Saturday. A couple of teams trying to discover an identity and get the ship heading in the right direction. We'll square off here in Athens tonight as the Bulldogs and the Owls will tip it off in about 25 minutes. Our courtside show is brought to you by Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Live fast, eat well with Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Chuck Dowdle joins me when we return for our countdown to tip-off right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is where the Dogs play.
Shakes and bakes, drives. High kiss off the glass. Blocked at the rim. Oh, nasty block.
You got to be at your very best every night.
Driving one-handed stuff. Reverse three and good. He faked him out. Inside, no look. Dish it a dunk.
Pulls up for a three at the horn.
Oh, yeah! And a two-handed monster dunk down the lane. Alley-oop. Oh, yeah!
Today's coverage of Dogs basketball is brought to you by Piedmont Healthcare, the official healthcare provider for the Georgia Bulldogs. Barbasol, here's a no-brainer. Barbasol is making razors. Try the Barbasol Ultras Plus today. And by State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to an agent at 800-STATE-FARM. Now to courtside, along with Chuck Dowdle, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
All right, less than 2 or 3 minutes from tip-off, Georgia and Kennesaw State. Let's give you the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First for Georgia, the Bulldogs at 3-3. The head coach is Tom Crean in his first season here in Athens, his 19th as a head coach in college basketball. His starting 5 tonight will feature Turtle Jackson and Tyshawn Hightower at guard. Turtle Jackson is a 6'4 senior from Athens. Tyshawn Hightower, 6'5 sophomore from Lithonia, Georgia. And the remaining 5 will feature Rayshawn Hammonds, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs thus far, 6'8 sophomore forward from Norcross. Nicholas Claxton, 6'11 sophomore forward from Greenville, South Carolina. Derek Ogbede, 6'9 senior forward from Atlanta. Hightower, Jackson, Hammonds, Claxton, Ogbede. And for the Kennesaw State Owls, their head coach is Al Skinner, and his starting lineups being announced here inside Stegman Coliseum. The lights are out. The light show is going on. It's time for our keys to the game, presented by Ford. Elevate your game with a new Ford F-150, the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs. Chuck Dowdle's got our keys. Chuck.
All right, Scott, we're going to start with teamwork, and that means both ends of the floor. That means better communication. You got to talk. You got to talk to each other on offense. You got to talk to each other on defense, and you got to talk to each other in transition. The Dogs have not been doing a great job of that. And clearly, number 2, turnovers continue to be a work in progress. Thought we were on the right track last home game with only 11. Since then, 15, 17, and 18.
Ouch.
That's the wrong direction. And then finally, we just got to find a way to win. Desperately need to get back above 500. We got 5 games in December, and the only road trip is to Atlanta versus Tech. So they'll all be in this state, and we need to run this state. We did in football.
It's a little bit more of an uphill climb, but you're right. As the Dogs are being introduced here. And before we tip it off, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Bulldogs basketball on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Tonight's tip brought to you by Northside Hospital Atlanta. Georgia will be in home whites tonight. Kennesaw State in their gold and black. And this is a Kennesaw State team that is in, I don't want to say disarray, but they're struggling right now. 1-6, they've lost 6 in a row. They're 0-2 all time against Georgia. These two teams haven't met since December of 2008. So it's been a while since these two clubs hooked up with one another. The Dogs 2-0 all time in the series. And the beginning of 4 straight games at home, as Chuck pointed out, 5 of the next 6 here at Stegman Coliseum. It's time to get well for the Bulldogs as they come in at 3-3 on the year.
Well, I tell you what, this is a game that, you know, by any measure, Georgia should win. But then, you know, I'd have said that last week down in the Grand Caymans, and it didn't happen. So, I mean, there is nothing right now that we can take for granted as this team tries to come to grips with a new way of playing, learning each other, what they're going to be doing on the floor. And like I said, communication. It starts with that. You got to talk. Offense, defense, transition.
Here we go. Toss in the tip, controlled by big Nicholas Claxton as he outjumps Isaac Buyamba at 6'7". Clax at 6'11". Dogs control. First offensive possession for Georgia as we're underway here at Stegman Coliseum tonight. Throw, rattles out, no good. Claxton with a one-handed rebound.
1 for 6.
4-2, Owls with the lead. Turtle from the right wing 3 won't go. Rebound, Hammonds underneath. Shoots from the right side of the rim, banks it in, good, and a foul. Count the basket. He'll go to the line as the foul is on Isaac Buyamba. That's his first, and the team's second. From the right side for the big Owl, no good. Rebound, Dogs. Hammond's going to push it up right to left. Dump it inside to Ogbede. Lay in with the left hand, good as it rolls around the iron and falls through. Georgia with a 7-4 lead.
That's right in Derek's wheelhouse. You get him the ball down there right under the basket. He's very good on either side.
Iron rebound tapped up in the air, controlled by Hammonds under the bucket. He'll push it up far sideline left into the front court. Tishon skips it right corner baseline. Ogbede, hard pass to Hammonds underneath. Baseline reverse, lay in good by Rayshawn Hammonds. He's got 5, and the Dogs extend the lead 9-4.
And somebody in a gold jersey just lost their man entirely.
Junior college transfer, ball knocked high in the air, blocked by the Dogs, picked up on the run by Claxton up ahead to Harris, comes in for the left-handed finger roll, soft touch off the window by Jordan Harris, the junior guard from Iron City, Georgia, his first points of the ball game. The Dogs 11, the Owls 6. 2 hands, gets the outlet to Turtle into the front court. Across the top of the lane to Crump. Tyree for 3, good. Crump with a 3-pointer. It's brought to you by Scana Energy.
And Scott, what you saw there was what you and I discussed earlier. When he squares and goes up straight, which sometimes he has a tendency to drift a little bit to his left, but boy, he is deadly when he just takes it up straight.
Turnover of the year for the freshman. Goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Owls with the ball. Ignas Sargunas does get the steal. He's going to get the layup on the other end. Dogs with a steal and a bucket. Ignas Sargunas, the 6'5" freshman from Lithuania, with his first points. Kennesaw State pushing it up left to right. Baseline jumper left side, short, no good. Rebound is loose, picked up on the bounce by Claxton. Gets under a defender, runs the floor. Here's Hightower on the feed from Clax. Driving layup right side baseline, good.
And how about a 6'11" guy running the floor with the ball on the dribble, finding the open man, running the baseline, and feeding him perfectly.
Got the assist, and Georgia by 7, largest lead of the half. And his jumper from the right of the lane with one hand, no good. The Dogs get the rebound. Here's Turtle Jackson now, through the legs, spots up for the 2, knocks down the 16-footer just above the right elbow. Turtle's first basket of the game. Dogs extend the lead to 9. It's 20-11. from 15. Rebound knocked around, controlled by Derek Ogbede for the Dogs. Gives it to Hightower. He's going to attack on the other end. Floater down the right down the lane is good with a right hand by T-Shawn Hightower.
I got to tell you, I don't think that's a real high percentage shot, but it went thin.
22-11. Yeah, not bad at all. The Dogs have jacked it up to an 11-point lead. Go up for the layup. He just fumbled it right out of bounds. Here's Crump for three on the other end. Good. Dogs make them pay. That three-pointer brought to you by Scana Energy. Both of our threes belong to number 4, Tyree Crump. That makes it a 10-point Georgia lead, 27-17. Feeds it inside, threw it away. He was trying to go to the elbow to Lockley, and his bounce pass was errant. Dogs take it away. Can we make them pay again? Harris for three. Yeah, Jordan bombs away from the right corner. Good.
Boy, those threes add up in a hurry, don't they?
They do. That's 3 threes for the Dogs. That would equal 9 points, and our lead is now 13. Kyle Clark on the wing for the Owls to Tyler Hooker. Another steal by Harris. Going to go one-on-one. Lay in, left it short, gets the rebound, put back. This time he didn't leave it short.
And you know what? It blamed Kennesaw State for that. Nobody ran behind the initial steal. I mean, they had one guy who went under with the miss, but there was nobody there to clean it up. You don't come the other way. So what happened? Jordan just stepped back in, got his own rebound, put it back in the basket. Ball on the possession arrow.
Dogs have it in front court left. Harris off the wing, drives, drops it off for Claxton in the lane, inside the arc, and he scores at close range. Nicholas Claxton with his first field goal of the contest makes it a 34-17 lead as the Dogs have doubled up the Owls here in the first half. Claxton. Lockley trying to tie him up, won't give up. Now he finally backs away. We go to Harris into the front court. Crump, catch, shoot, three. Good! Tyree for three, left corner.
That's when he catches it, you know, it's in a catch-shoot situation, he's already squared up, so he's not moving and floating. That's another great example of how well he shoots on the catch.
Back iron, no good. Rebound. Turtle Jackson saves it on the sideline. Back on the baseline to Hammonds. He hooks a bullet across the court to the left wing. We go to Harris inside now to Hammonds. Lay in.
That was teamwork.
That ball was moving all over the place.
That was teamwork. That's the best example I've seen in this half of the Dogs playing like a team.
Rayshawn
moving that ball quickly.
It's the rebound on the left block. Tries to go under the basket and lay it up from the right side. That's deflected by the Dogs. Claxton takes it away for Georgia. Turtle Jackson, no look inside to Ogbede, who fiercely flushes it with two hands on the dunk. That's your Swifty car wash. Play of the game, Derek Ogbede from Turtle Jackson. 42-26. Claxton fires up a high jump shot, no good. Rebound, Nicholas. Claxton will bring it up the floor. He'll attack through the lane, kick out Turtle on the wing. Bullet one-handed baseball pass cross court to Hightower. Works on the baseline. They cut it off. Feeds Hammonds. He'll drive. Finger roll and flip it up and in with a left hand. Good.
Yeah, T-Shawn and Rayshawn playing a little two-man game. Beautiful execution. And Hammonds off the glass, kissing it beautifully.
44-26 Dogs. Hammonds first Bulldog in double figures. He's got 10. 3, no good. High rebound. Claxton reels it down with one hand. Feeds Toppin. JoJo up and under. Good from the left side. JoJo Toppin, freshman guard, 6'6" from Norcross with his first points of the game.
He just checked in. He couldn't have been on the floor more than about 7 seconds.
46-28 Dogs. High pass inside to Clax. Back outside to Hightower. His three ball off the back iron. No good. Toppin picks up the rebound in the paint and puts it up and in. Just lays it in over the front iron. He could have gone up for the slam, but he decided to just let it float over the iron.
I was just happy to see us get on the offensive boards there.
48-30 Dogs. Toppin at Stegmania before the season began was the slam dunk champion. 48-32. Hightower left wing kills the dribble, goes to Crump between the circles. To the right elbow to Hammonds, draws a crowd, give and go to Hightower, cuts it down to him on a bullet pass, and he lays it up from the right side.
T-Shawn saw the space open up in the paint. He cut and was looking for the pass. Beautiful.
Georgia 50, Owls 32 into Hightower with 13 minutes remaining in the ball game. Georgia's lead is 13. Claxton left open, long three, good, big Clax with his second three-pointer of the season, and that's brought to you by Scana Energy. 53-37 Georgia. Well, they didn't guard him. He made him pay for that, didn't he? Bound to the Dogs. Hightower explodes down the lane, throws it up off the iron, no good. Claxton with a rebound. They push him all over the place. He finishes strong with a knee-high, two-handed slam dunk.
You know, that kind of determination on the glass and then going.
In the Cayman Islands in one of the games there. Long three, Jordan Harris, good with a left-hander from about 26 feet. That's a three-pointer brought to you by Scana Energy and Jordan Harris.
Coach Crean was not kidding you in the pregame. He said he wanted to keep shooting them, shooting more, and that's what they're doing.
Dogs by 19, 58-39. Dogs 58, Owls 39. Harris didn't take the three, sent it inside to Hammonds. Hammonds wrap around to Claxton in the lane. Jump hook, left hand, good! And a foul on the play. Hammonds hits the deck under the basket. I think he's okay. The foul against Crump to the rack. Throws it up over the iron, off the glass. A rebound taken by Claxton, number 11 of the night. Nicholas pushes it up the floor, feeds Hammonds, feeds into the corner. Fagan, head fake and a drive. Right edge of the lane. Oh, scoop shot good. Right around the defender, Ty Fagan.
How about that? He switched hands. He was going up with the left and flipped it over to the right as they closed in on that left hand to defend him. And then, oh, that was beautiful.
That was very
well
nice
done
from the freshman for his first points of the night. Dribble works against Harris. He goes over to Lockley. Lockley attacks from the right side, throws it up high off the glass, no good. Rebound, Dogs. Hand Crump down the middle of the floor. Bounce pass and a slam on the finish. Left-handed jammeroo by Rayshawn Hammonds.
Tyree looked to his right to Jordan Harris, and then looked it over to Rayshawn. That was beautiful. Shooting. I mean, he keeps shooting. I'll give him that.
Well, a shooter shoots, right? Fagan with a drive down the lane, layup good. The freshman scores again off the glass. Ty Fagan with his second field goal, 67-39 Georgia. To Sargunas. Fakes to the right, drives to the left. Overhead pass to Hammonds above the arc, right wing. Will dribble to his right, send it to Sargunas with 8 to shoot. Pump fake and a drive, dribbles behind the back, drives again. Wrap around Hammonds, laying good from the left side as the shot clock was winding down.
Ignas Sargunas showing why he's on this team. Just beautiful basketball IQ, the way he handled the ball, then knew exactly where Rayshawn Hammonds was.
Never flinched either as the shot clock was winding down. Dogs lead by 30. Owls float. Sargunas, here comes a three, too deep, high rebound. Clax gets it with two hands. Dribbles on the block, splits the defenders, laying good with a left hand. You can't stop him. You can only hope, well, you can't even contain it.
Not when he's that close.
14 for Big Clax, 71-41. Double-double tonight for the sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina. Dogs lead it by 30 again. Lane over the iron, no good. Off the glass, the rebound down to Hightower for the Dogs. T-Shawn going to drive. No good. The follow is good. Big Clax and Amanze both got up in the air. Claxton with the flush on the follow.
How high up was he?
He was up there.
Wow.
He was up there at square level.
He was. Whoa.
73-43, Dogs. Dogs working the front court, 12 on the clock. Hightower kills the dribble, right wing. Pivots, goes to Sargunas. Here comes the three, right corner, good. Ignas Sargunas.
Yeah, they didn't go with him. They didn't respect his shot. They didn't go out there on defense, left him all alone.
Three ball by the freshman makes it 76-45. Dogs by 31, largest lead of the night. Obaniki bounce pass into Lockley, spins to the baseline, shot blocked and taken away by Clax. He got the block and the steal. Long pass up the lead, up the floor to Sargunas, missed the lay-in, ball knocked high in the air. Amanze Ngumeze batting the rebound over to Sargunas to Toppin for a two-handed flush.
How about that, huh?
That was good. Well, like a pinball going from Ngumeze to Sargunas over to Toppin for the flush. Long three by Hooker. Throws it into the corner to Fagan with 6 to shoot. Hooks it over to Edwards. Here's a catch and shoot three. Short rebound. Sargunas underneath. And a layup good. Ignas Sargunas.
I'm sure Mike would say that.
Well, the result was 2 for Georgia. It's 80-46. The ball skimmed the net on Edwards' jumper. Sargunas caught it as the Owls bank one into the and Harrison with a rebound for the Dogs. Skips it into the corner. Sargunas' three ball is blocked. Taken under the basket by O'Neal. He finds Harrison, who drives down the lane and dunks it with two hands. And a big smile for Christian Harrison and Connor O'Neal.
And there's another guy. Christian Harrison's got some serious.
Second free throw. That one comes right down through the rim. Good. Spencer hits 1 of 2. Dogs ball. 10 seconds difference, shot clock and game clock. Dogs will run their offense here. Ngumeze drives. Oh, my goodness. from the left wing, slashes through the lane and just flushed it.
You remember what I was saying about every so often you see these flashes?
That was elevation and some devastation from Ngumeze with a one-handed jam. He hung the net back on the other end. The officials haven't caught it yet. 84-49. Wow, that was nice.
Where he sees it. He sees that opening, and there's no doubt where he's headed.
That's probably what folks in Savannah saw a lot from the Johnson High School product. Second free throw by Kerbon is good. He hit them both. 6.5 seconds. The Dogs will inbound, can dribble out the clock. 84-51. Edwards in the backcourt. You don't have to get it across the timeline, and that's the ball game. Georgia winner, 84-51. Final score from Stegman Coliseum. Dogs with a strong second half to pick up their 4th win of the year, and Kennesaw State their 7th consecutive loss.
Well, you know, I don't want to take anything away from Kennesaw State because this is a team that played Missouri to within 3 points. So, I mean, their loss to Missouri was only by 3. Georgia beats them by 33. And the Dogs played tonight doing what they had to do, which is get back on the positive side of 500, get above 500 at 4-3 now. And now we're going to move into December. Let's make some noise. You got some home games. 4 out of 5 are here at Stegman. It's a tough schedule, but let's see if we can't do what we've done so far, and that's protect our home floor.
We're going to talk to Jordan Harris here for just a few moments, our IBEW player of the game, as Jordan
we'll get you to put that on, pal.
Tonight with 10 points in the ball game. Jordan Harris, congratulations, bud. 10 points in the ball game, back-to-back double-figure scoring. Your thoughts on this win for Georgia?
It was a good win. It was definitely something this team needed. You know, coming off a real bad loss for us. You know, credit Georgia State. They came out and played a great game against us. But it was definitely good for, you know, the fans and also the program.
Jordan, can you talk a little bit about what was said among the players about the performance down there in the Grand Caymans that made a difference tonight?
One of the biggest thing was, like, you know, not trying to spend too much time on it. It was a loss that we just had to, you know, it was really healthy for the team. Once we look back on it, and it just brought us closer than we ever was. And, you know, that was the most important thing for us to do is just, you know, stick together through the rough and, you know, and through the good times. And, you know, we definitely came out and responded well tonight.
What's the biggest difference in Jordan Harris?
The biggest difference in me, confidence. You know, I just feel good. I feel good right now. And my teammates, they've been lifting me up. You know, I started off the season kind of like, I wouldn't say rusty, but I just feel like I haven't played against nobody else in a long time. And I definitely needed the last 2 games I had just to see the ball go in, just to, you know, get the feel for the game again, and just being out there on the court to help the team win.
Jordan, you guys have a lot of weapons. Are we still seeing that evolution of who can do what on this team?
Yeah, it's definitely, we figure out something different every night. And I think the more games we play, the more we'll figure it out. Coach Crean doing a great job of being patient with everybody, trying to see what everybody go bring. You know, we finna definitely figure out some roles and, you know, figure out some rotation that'll definitely push us over the top against, you know, whoever we're facing.
You were hoisting up a couple of threes tonight. Mm-hmm. Coach Crean told Scott before the start of the game he wanted us to shoot more threes. Mm-hmm. Has that been a message to the team? Yeah,
we practice threes every day, and we go hard. We go hard at them. We really dig in on the details of shooting the ball. Especially when it comes to footwork. We came in, you know we had to go inside, and you know, once you go inside so many times, the threes, they're going to be open outside. So, you know, he always preached inside, outside, and that's definitely something we did real good tonight. We was unselfish as a team, and, you know, it brought to a great victory.
And keep those turnovers down.
Yes, sir. That's something.
You did that in the second half. I got to tell you had 11 at the break.
Yes, sir.
And I think you only ended up with 14. What'd they end up with?
16.
16?
Yeah, so 5 in the second
much
half.
Better, just 5 in the second half.
Yeah, I think, you know, we came out, you know, trying to prove a point, and I feel like we got ahead of ourselves, but I'm definitely finna go in the locker room and hear about all those turnovers.
Yeah, well, you gotta cut those. Just 5 a half. We can live with that.
Yes, sir. We can definitely live with that and grow off that. And,
Jordan, nice job, buddy, tonight. 10 points, 5 rebounds. Congratulations on this win. Enjoy it.
Appreciate it, my man. I'll see
Texas Southern next week.
Yes, sir. It'll be a good one.
All right. Jordan Harris, our IBEW player of the game, with us here courtside at Stegman Coliseum. Georgia a winner, 84-51. 51 over Kennesaw State Owls. Now coming up is our post-game coverage brought to you by Regions and by Aaron's. Regions is helping Bulldog fans take their next step. We've awarded nearly $1 million in scholarships and hosted over 100,000 financial education workshops. Got a goal? Get a game plan at regions.com/next step. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Locker Room Report also brought to you by Aaron's, lease to own top brands in furniture, electronics, and appliances with no credit needed at Aaron's. Final score tonight, Georgia 84, Kennesaw State 51. Post-game coverage straight ahead here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Lopsided heavily in favor of Georgia. The Dogs final 84-51 over Kennesaw State. The Owls have lost 7 in a row. Georgia now 4-3. Led by Nicholas Claxton, his third double-double this season, 16 points, a career-high 15 rebounds. He also had 4 assists in 32 minutes, 6 of 11 shooting the basketball, had a 3, perfect from the line, 3 for 3. Rayshawn Hammonds had 14 points tonight. He was 6 of 8 with 8 rebounds. And Jordan Harris, who we talked to after the game, 10 points, 5 rebounds for Harris, 3 assists as well. Everybody else in single figures for the Dogs. Leading scorer for Kennesaw State was Obaneki with 12, and then Hooker had 11, and Lockley with 10. The Dogs held the Owls to 1 for 15 shooting on three-point shots and just 28% from the field. Georgia shoots 52%, out-rebounds Kennesaw State by 18 and dominates the ball game in the second half. 84-51 our final. It's on to Texas Southern. The Tigers of Johnny Jones, the former LSU head coach, bringing his Tiger team here to Athens on Monday night. That'll be a 7 o'clock start, and we'll be on the air with you at 6:35 for Bulldogs basketball Monday, December 3rd for our next game here on the network. Chuck, any final thoughts?
Just that, you got back above 500 now. You need to just keep stretching it out, and that'll be a week from last night, next Monday, right here at Stegman.
All right, our post-game wrap-up continues. It's brought to you by Aaron's and by Regions. Cabell Philpott's in our Piedmont Healthcare Network studios, and he will be with you next. Again, our final score tonight, Georgia 84, Kennesaw State 51. For Chuck Dowdle, Tony Schiavone, Scott Howard saying so long from Athens. Stay tuned for more of the post-game coverage after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Welcome back, everyone. One more time, Piedmont Healthcare Network Studios. Wrapping things up, Georgia winner on the hardwood tonight, 84-51 over Kennesaw State. All eyes now turn towards Atlanta, Georgia, and the top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. This Saturday, the Dogs on the air starting at high noon for the pregame show, counting you all down all the way to kickoff between Georgia and Alabama just after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, downtown Atlanta, Georgia, and top-ranked Alabama. For our entire broadcast crew, I'm Cabell Philpott. We'll talk to you on Saturday. Georgia winner tonight in Athens, 84-51 over Kennesaw State. For our entire broadcast crew, I'm Cabell Philpott saying good night. Dogs on time.
You've been listening to the Locker Room Report, presented by Regions Bank and Aaron's on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Today's coverage has been brought to you by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. By Aaron's, lease to own top brands in furniture, electronics, and appliances with no credit needed at Aaron's. Barbasol, here's a no-brainer. Barbasol is making razors. Try the Barbasol Ultra 6 Plus today. And by State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to an agent at 800-STATE-FARM. The executive producers of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network are Tom Stoltz and Tim Pernetti. Associate producers Tom McDonald and Chris Ferris. Network manager Adam Witten. I'm staff announcer Carl Shannon. Special thanks to the University of Georgia, Athletics Director Greg McGarity, and to the staff and management of Cox Media Group. Georgia Basketball is an exclusive presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, powered by IMG and JMI Sports.
Improbable, the unthinkable, the unbelievable. SEC tournament.